Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Crow's Whisper Tarot. Today we're going to be looking at what people are envious about you, what qualities you possess that make them want to be like you, and also what you inspire others to be through your own qualities. So let's jump into the reading. So here are the piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 and pile 4. Take your time selecting the piles and you can skip to the timestamps. Welcome pile 1 to your reading. The first card that we have for you is the Mermaid Song. So with this card, it really shows that you are someone who has an alluring personality, alluring voice. Similar to the Siren Song, you're able to draw people in with your voice. In addition to that, you also have a very quiet confidence about yourself. You don't really fall into anyone's trends. You sort of go about your own business and do things your way. And I think a lot of people are envious about how well you can portray yourself to the best of your ability. You're able to shine so well by yourself. Some people might also see you as a bit of an enigma just because of how you sort of just go about your own business. You don't really follow into trends as much. You tend to focus more on your own internal being. You don't really sort of put any sort of emphasis on what other people think or feel about you, which is really amazing. That's what we have off the bat. But the other thing that we have is Pineapple with Reconciliation. Now with this, I see this as more you having the ability to sort of work through a lot of things that have gone on in your life, being able to put yourself back together from difficult situations. You're very resourceful. You're able to take things and make them into something more. And I feel like you're very good with connecting to other people as well. And it's one of those things that takes a lot of time and energy for you to focus in on yourself, and I think a lot of people find that an amazing quality because they want to almost become similar to you in the way that you sort of bring yourself together. I don't feel like this is necessary. It could be for some of you that you are well put together in terms of your outfit, but it also feels along the lines of you are able to put your best self forward, and that brings a lot of harmony into the way you present yourself or the energy you give off as well. We also have Give It Time, everything in divine timing, let things flow. And maybe that's the mermaid spirit, as mermaid song as well, being having a very watery quality where you'll more go with the flow. You're able to focus on letting things grow, letting things cultivate over time, things coming to fruition at the pace that you want. You could potentially be a very good manifester as well if that makes sense for you, but the main thing that I'm picking up from this is you're someone who has the ability to really focus in on yourself and have a very deep understanding of yourself, and that shows forward in the way that you present yourself, the way you approach certain situations, the way you talk about yourself to others. And that's probably the main thing that they find very intriguing about you, I wouldn't want to say. Not so much that they want to become you or jealous of a quality, they just are amazed by how well you're able to make yourself your best version of yourself, is what I'm getting to. We also have the Knight of Swords and the Three of Wands reversed. So you're someone who, when you speak, you do it with a lot of emphasis and clarity, and you're focused in on the moment, not so much in the future with both of these cards. A lot of the times, I don't know if this is also, again, that mermaid song quality, but what you are able to speak about, what you're able to do, there's a lot of thought process that has gone through it, or that's how it seems to other people, is that you're very good at your communication style, you're very good at your goals and ambitions, because it seems like you put a lot of thought and energy into it, even if it isn't at the time. That's how it comes across to other people, and so they find that as an amazing quality, is that the way you communicate, the way you present your ideas, how creative you are, that all sort of accumulates over time, and that's what shows the most. And along with those qualities, it feels like you're someone who over time have developed these skills. It's not necessarily something that has just always been there. It definitely feels like you've gone through a bit of a journey to get to that point, but it's definitely being shown now in how you present. And we have the Magician, so again, very good at communication, Mercury energy coming through here. And again, it's about being able to manifest what you want over time, using every skill you have, every resource about yourself, and that you have gathered over time. That all is something that has been showcasing, and so that's an amazing quality to have. And we have the Emperor. You guys are in your most powerful energy, and others are jealous of that, because you're not only manifesting amazing leadership, amazing way to present yourself in your best possible version of yourself. And again, it has taken a lot of time and energy to get there, but now that we are, you know, at the reconciliation of almost being your best version of yourself, again, that doesn't mean that this is the only version of yourself, but it's the best version. And we're definitely in a position where we are moving away from energies that feel stuck, that feel like aren't moving. It feels like you're constantly transforming and having a new perspective on things. And I think the way you present outward isn't necessarily what's happening internally, but what they're focused on is more the external anyway. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have things together in your head. It doesn't mean that, you know, things are, you know, amazing internally, but the way you present yourself externally is being shown as someone who has all those qualities, which is truly amazing. Any other qualities that others are envious of? We have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords. So a lot of sword energy that tends to come out for this group. I don't know if that's necessarily a zodiac for you guys. So fire and air, but ultimately with all of this, it does show with the Seven of Wands that you only let a select few within your space, or share your most internal thoughts with a select few in your space. What that ends up happening is they're the ones who see your true self, and the others externally don't get to see those sides of you, and so they only have the bare minimum to work with. But it does feel, again, that you've gone through a lot of transformations, you've been working through a lot of difficulty, moving past a lot of things that haven't been working in your favor necessarily, but that has all led to the ability to sort of make yourself stronger and make yourself someone who is able to defend yourself when you need to, but also keep, you know, strong boundaries with the people around you as well. And it leads to a lot of easy communication with those around you. And you also, maybe that's, again, the ability to control your words, is that with the Knight of Swords reversed, is being able to only say what you want them to hear or you want to convey, not necessarily giving them all the information that they have, information about yourself, because you want to make sure that those who you let in are the right people. So you don't necessarily reveal all your thoughts, but you communicate it in a way that you don't feel, I guess, holding back necessarily. So it's a very fine balance to make, but you're definitely doing that, which is something to be proud of in this case. So that was your reading, Pile 1. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. You have the dandelion root. So dandelions are all about, you know, joy, life, bringing abundance into the world. Again, it's also about creating wishes and dreams for yourself. And what this shows is everyone is envious about not just how well you are as a manifester, being able to bring your dreams into reality, but it's also about how much joy you bring to others and how optimistic you are about life, and also just the energy that you bring is something that is beautiful and sunny and has a lot of amazing potential. With the dandelion in particular, it's about others seeing you as this bright light, and so when they feel down or when they feel like things aren't going their way, they tend to migrate towards you automatically. It's not the greatest feeling for you necessarily, but they feel like you are such a bright light and they want to have the same energy as you, or they want to share, the same, things as you do, just to be in your space, because they feel like by being near you, they're going to get the rewards of your energy, so to speak. We also have Cain, pay attention to your health. So it could be, again with this, and I see this again with the dandelion root together, they see you as someone who they can benefit from, and it's not because they have ill will towards you, it's just that you make them feel better, and you have this innate ability to make others feel better. But again, at the same time, I feel like this group has gone through quite a few bits of hardship, and everyone's surprised of how do you have so much joy after experiencing all of this? How did you get through this without, going through emotional struggles and things like that? And what they don't see is what's going underneath, but surface level wise, they see you as someone who is able to pull yourself together so quickly that you don't even seem like you have like a need to use a cane, a need for support, but they see you as the cane and the support for them to get through what they need to, because they're just inspired by how well you've coped with things over time. And we have divorce, experiencing a breakup, but in this scenario, it does feel like, again, you've gone through some sort of hardship over time, and the way you've continued to have this optimism and this joy and this ability to go through so many different things and still come out the end amazing and hopeful is what they're most impressed about you, because that itself is a major challenge, and you've gone through it and you've come out the other side with amazing hope and incredible abilities. We also have the Justice card. So again, having a balance between optimism and over imagination, I suppose, is the circumstance in this one, as well as the Three of Cups reversed. I don't know if some of you are workaholics, but it could be that in this scenario you are extremely focused on your goals, and that itself makes others draw towards you, because it feels like you have so many things going on in your life. How do you have time for it all? And that makes them like more amazed by you, is just how well you're able to, have a side hustle, have a job, have hobbies on top of that, and still come out the other end not stressed, or not appearing stressed at least, and not appearing stressed, having so much joy, having all this energy to do all this other stuff, and they are surprised that you are still on your feet by the end of it. That is definitely the vibe that is coming through. But any additional messages on what others are jealous of pile 2 for? I think that's about it. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Wands. So definitely a very powerful group. So we have the Knight of Cups, the Death card, and the Ace of Wands. So again, what others are incredibly impressed by you is how well you are able to adjust to new circumstances in a heartbeat. the ability for you to simply push through and look at the other side, be hopeful. The Knight of Cups, again, is being emotionally open, being good at, you know, feeling, understanding the feelings of other people. For some of you, you could be an empath, especially with the cards that have come out. It can also be that you have the ability to see the best in people or see the best in circumstances, being able to really push yourself to the best of your ability with other situations. And yes, on the inside, you are not feeling great. Yes, it is a struggle regardless of what the situation is. But the ability for you to, I guess, make the best of a difficult situation, being able to see the positive in things, being able to recognize when things need to end and when things need to be put to the side, and use your time wisely. That was all the things that you're able to do so well and people are impressed by. We also have the Ace of Wands. So again, creative hobbies, creative subjects. You are so good at immersing yourself in those things. I don't know if any of you like paint or crochet or do something that has a lot of creative aspects to it, but that shows over time is, you know, if you're good as an artist or digital media or YouTube or whatever it is that you do on the side, whatever creative venture you have, you do so well in addition to everything else. And the way you get inspired by things, the way you sort of dream up different situations and being able to manifest them again, those things are what others are really impressed by you, is your ability to constantly be a powerhouse for getting through emotional things, getting through, you know, physical work things, being able to socialize and do what you need to do. You're just on top of it all, and that makes them very impressed by your energy. Now, we also have, again, the Eight of Wands popped out. So again, Eight of Wands, you are on top of it, you're a powerhouse, you're pushing through as best as you can with this energy. And again, master manifester, but also are very good with material resources, using your resources to the best of your ability, using your drive and ambition to create stability for yourself, and not needing to rely on other people to get to where you want to be. I feel like this is just you doing things for yourself, and then getting the rewards for your hard work over time. But again, I feel like this is a long-term process. I feel like this is just something that has been created by you for a long period of time, and you're seeing that continuously happen in your life. It can also be that there is a lot of obstacles that you've had over time, and you've just learned to, it probably wasn't initially, but over time you've learned that this is just going to be the process for life, and so you've just learned to accept all of these things that are happening for you. So that is the other scenario for some of you. And we also have the Four of Swords reversed. So again, no rest for you by the looks of it. I don't know if it's a conscious thing to be a workaholic, but I feel like multitasking is just ingrained in you. You're going to be doing something, have a thought about doing something else, go and do that. I don't know what is happening, but you have like 10 things running in your head of what you want to do, and each one is going to get manifested at some point in time, especially with the Eight of Wands energy. So look forward to that. But that was your reading, pile 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. Starting off, we have a wish. So what this card represents is that you are a powerful person, you're a powerful manifester, you know exactly what you desire, you know what your path is, you have a very clear mind on yourself of what you want and what you desire, where you want to go, all of that stuff, which itself people are amazed by. Second is that it's not that you're relying on, you know, spirit to take you to your destination, or for fate to simply work out. You just know that you yourself have every possible ability to make that happen, because you know for yourself that 100% you are going to make this happen, which itself I am impressed by with the way that it's going. We also have broken ring, parting of ways in either romance or business. So again, you know what's good for you. You know when to cut things when they need to be cut. You know when things need to enter your life. You know when you need a fresh beginning. You just have a deep knowledge of yourself, where you want to be, at what time, at what, circumstance. You have that all down to a T, which is why this entire process is going to happen so quickly. Again, so challenges, making a decision, working on inner healing. I feel like you know how to get out of certain situations. Again, with the wish, yes, you can wish upon a star, but you yourself are seen as the star in your life, and so you know exactly how to make yourself shine brighter. And I think all the challenges that you go through, you know that it will build you up into this bigger person that you need to be. So again, inner healing, working on, making decisions for yourself that are in your highest good, and that if that means cutting off things from your life, if that means changing habits or moving into a different direction, you're more than happy to do that, because you know what's good for you. And we also have the Page of Wands reversed and the Nine of Swords. So what others are envious about you is that you have the ability to create new pathways for yourself, and you're not being hesitant when it comes to difficult situations, but also accepting the inner anxiety, being able to work through, limiting beliefs and things like that you end up having for yourself over time. You've worked through all that, and you've gained such a higher perspective that nothing phases you anymore. And I think that itself is something to be appreciated, but it feels like you've definitely done a lot of heavy thought process on where you want to go, what you want to be, the way things are going to work out in your life, and how, the timing of everything, of how it shows up in your life as well. That's probably the main thing that is coming through. So we have the Empress, we have the Two of Swords, and the Six of Cups. So ultimately, with the way things are happening for you at this time, with the Empress, you are someone who knows your path forward. You're constantly looking into the future, into where you want to be, what you want to do, this ambition and drive that you have for yourself, where nothing, not even yourself, can stop. And again, I think in terms of making decisions, you're someone who is very clear in your direction and where you want to go. So if anything comes your way, you know for a fact what is going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. You're not going to hesitate when you make a decision. Even if you are blindfolded, you're still going to know exactly what path you're going to take. And I feel like that comes from this amazing potential of your inner child, but also that you're almost holding on to that childhood self where anything is possible, which, most of us sort of have that die eventually, as sad as that is. But the ability for you to just see every opportunity as a challenge that you can take on. You're not sort of thinking, can't do that at any point in time. You're constantly, adventure driven, or just have at it. Let's just try and see where it goes. But it's one of those things where you just don't have any breaks when it comes to any situation. You just go full throttle on whatever it is that you have in front of you, and you just accept it and move forward. There's no hesitation, there's no fear. You're just in that state where you're just moving forward no hesitation, and that is amazing. Any other qualities for pile 3 that others are envious of? We have the 8 of Rings and the 10 of Swords. With both of these cards, it is interesting because not only do you have this almost constant work ethic and the ability to use your resources that are in front of you, constantly being on the move, having that ambition and consistency to get through what you need to get through. But also with the 10 of Swords, you know when something needs to go, you know when if things aren't working out, you're going to cut ties or, you know, start again from scratch and, you know, go through the tough times if you need to. For example, if you own a business and things aren't going well, pathways aren't working out, you're more than willing to take the next step and sell, move to a different location, or, you know, completely redo whatever idea you had in your mind to make it work, because you know that's exactly the type of job that you want, and so you're just going to consistently do what you need to do to get there in the end. And I feel like that itself, like that amount of work and, again, ambition is just popping up everywhere for this. But you also have the ability, again, to not just manifest and create comfort and, you know, ease in your life. You're working towards building a better version of yourself and having a lot of self-care despite, you know, doing all of this in the meantime. But you do have a great sense of self-care, being able to focus on yourself, take time for yourself along with all of this, which, you know, not an easy thing to do. And we also have the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Again, this is something where you are focusing on what needs to be done, not hesitating about what isn't working out or what is working out. You just know what you want to celebrate about yourself and you're going for it to the best of your ability. So you guys are on the right path and going to shine pretty bright in the future. So that was your reading, pile 3. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Welcome, pile number 4, to your reading. We start off with befuddlement. Now, strange thing about this card, usually it would indicate that, you know, you're going through a time where it's heavy confusion. But I feel like, especially because people are envious of this about you, you're very good at dealing with things that don't make sense, or putting puzzle pieces together, or being able to associate things about other people and understand what's going on in their mind. I feel like any confusing situation you are just on top of. You have a clear mind, you know exactly what to do, where this is going. Not sure if some of you are into psychology as well, but it does feel like you are having this innate ability to piece together people's minds or things that are going on with the people around you, maybe psychoanalyze them to some extent, or you just have a very good idea of what people are thinking and feeling at a certain time, and that itself is a skill on its own. It could also be that you're very good at reading a room or being able to sort of bring other aspects of yourself and sort of make sense of things that are going on at the moment. We have Throne, so position of authority. Again, it could be that you have the ability to lead because you can almost understand what people are going through, understand other people's thought processes, or be able to sort of hold people together to some capacity as well. Again, leadership, but make it, you know, from pages like manipulating people's minds to make them do things, being able to navigate the indecisiveness of people as well. We have air sign Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Again, that makes sense with the mind abilities that you seem to have for some reason. It could be that you are just very good at communication, very good, especially with the Mercury energy with befuddlement. We also have Gemini as well. Could be your air sign, one of your zodiac signs in your chart. That is very significant, but you might find that you are someone who has the ability to work with people's minds or have a very clear understanding of the people around you and what motivates them and what makes them tick and things like that. So that's something to keep in mind. We also have the Star card and the Nine of Cups. So again, being able to create more than what you have, being comfortable with your own energy, being able to focus on what your path is forward, focus on your dreams, your aspirations, that sort of thing with those cards. Manifesting and communication are the biggest things that are significant for this group. But I probably need a few more cards. So anything else about what people are envious of pile 4? Why are people envious of pile 4? We have the King of Wands. Again, leadership position, very good at motivating people. We have the Eight of Rings reversed, and we have the Three of Wands reversed as well. So again, being very good at motivating people, being able to get work done without overworking yourself. Give CEO energy where you're sort of delegating work to other people. Also with the Three of Wands reversed, it's not that you are going to, I guess, push things forward. You're handing it over to other people to do the work for you. Again, very leadership position-y, position of authority, but it also means that you're using your resources to the best of your ability. If something's not working out, you're going to hand that over to someone else or get advice from someone else. You're not someone who simply tries to work on things by themselves and ignore advice. You're very open to receiving information and advice and using what you have, as well as accepting help from others. Very, Emperor energy, I suppose, to some extent. And what other bits are... what do we have? We have the Hermit. So yes, despite, your position of authority, it's almost that sort of silent in the background position of authority. It's not necessarily the CEO, but you are someone who people go to for advice, or when people are confused of their path forward or things along those lines, you step in and give them information, or you pass them on to someone else. Some of you could be a GP, but that's sort of the vibe I'm getting from this as well. We have the Five of Cups reversed as well. So dealing with uncomfortable situations, dealing with people who are upset as well. You're very good at those things, being able to get into their head, but also be and understand where they're coming from, but then sort of set them on a clearer path forward. Being able to comfort others really well, as well comes to mind. This is probably the vaguest group I've got, because I feel like you possess so many qualities, but a lot of them is people interactions. So it might make more sense to you than me, because again, this is a general reading and it's hard to sort of pinpoint these sorts of things. But again, it's very mental and communication and being able to help with emotions to some extent as well. And it's helping others with their emotions without getting affected by their energy as well, which is hard to do sometimes. So therapists also come to mind with this, but I don't know, some of your qualities are just very work related for me. Again, Justice card, being balanced, being neutral in whatever conversation that is taking place. Again, not putting your emotions forward, not being affected by the thoughts and emotions of other people. You're very good at being a neutral person to go to for whatever advice. It could also be that if you are in any sort of social group or friend group or things like that, you're the person they go to for advice, but also the person that they tell all their secrets to, because you're just very neutral and they know that they can trust you in anything and you're not going to take sides. So there is that as well. Again, 7 of Wands, having good boundaries, being able to maintain your boundaries without letting others affect you, that sort of thing. This has been a very clear and consistent group with the advice that you seem to give to other people. And bottom of the deck is the Strength card. So again, dealing with the uncomfy subjects within a person and being able to be very good at dealing with the inner world of a person as well. So overall, people are just very envious of your abilities to navigate social situations by the looks of it, ultimately. But that was your reading, pile 4. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.